If you're a real estate agent with aspirations of being a real estate investor and you joined the industry for that main reason, I did the exact same thing, and I want to share my story with you exactly how I was able to transition from being a full-time real estate agent as my only source of income to now owning 2 apartment buildings and being a full-time investor and never having to sell real estate for other people again, to the point where I'm saying no to listings, no to buyer clients. If that's something that interests you, stick around and let's get into it. My name is Aaron. If you haven't heard, if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, and I am 28 years old. I've been in the real estate industry since 2017. March 1st was my very first day, and my goal was solely because I was so broke when I got my license. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make my money in real estate as an agent, learn the industry from inside out, and then when I'm ready to go out and be an investor myself, I'll have more experience, I'll have more money, and I'll have the inside scoop on exactly what I need to do, and I'll get the best deals. That was the entire reason why I even became a real estate agent. And I think that is important because being a real estate agent, being a real estate investor are 2 completely different things. So if you join as a real estate agent to help buyers and sellers buy their homes and sell their homes, that's a career path that will make you a lot of money, and it's totally fine. Now, if you join to be a real estate investor and you only join to gain the experience as an agent, different category. So I want to share exactly how my story went, where I made some mistakes, and maybe where you could learn from it, not so it doesn't have to take you as long as it took me, because I definitely held myself back for about 5 years, I would say. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave a comment with your thoughts. Why you got into real estate? Do you want to be an investor? Was this video even helpful for you? So since my goal was always to be a real estate investor, I always felt that before I could do that, I needed money because I was so broke. It was almost offensive, right? I was driving Uber, this, that, and the other, any way I could just to stay in business. And then my 5th year in the industry is when I finally made my first 6 figures. I made $140,000 my 5th year as a real estate agent. Leading up to that, year 1 was like, and I'm only talking net numbers after my splits. So I think it was 21,000, then it was 28,000, and then it was like 44,000, then 56,000. I went from 56 straight to 140,000, which allowed me to take a step back and say, okay, you know what? I now have access and I have time, I have space in my brain to think about this transition of being a real estate investor. This is my 5th year. And then I said to myself, well, if I'm going to be a real estate investor, I should I started just looking into it more, just naturally, right? So I started sharing a lot of content about being a real estate investor, real estate investing as a whole, right? And then I started attracting a bunch of real estate investors as clients. So through helping them, I realized, wow, I actually know what I'm doing because every single one of my clients are making a ton of money, right? Even in the times where you couldn't even find a deal on the MLS, I was still able to find good deals here and there. And then I did my first flip. I hated it. I thought this was horrible. I made about $40,000, split that 2 ways with an investor. And then I went and bought 2 apartment buildings. That's why I have 14 units today. And those 2 apartment buildings, once I sell them, will make me about $200,000 to $250,000 gross before splitting with the investors, which we have 50-50 deals on, right? So that's kind of where I was entering my 7th year as a real estate agent, right? I had done a flip. I own a couple of buildings, and I was representing a bunch of investors. That was me. In the beginning of my 7th year, I realized something. Well, I thought I needed to be a real estate agent who make the money and then invest the money into real estate. But then up to this point, all the investment property I owned was never with my own money. So if I don't need my own money to invest in real estate, why am I being a real estate agent, which is holding me back from finding the best deals and doing more deals in real estate as an investor? So that was just a thought that came into my mind. And I was getting real sick and tired of being an agent, especially if you're representing investors. I hate to break it to you. It is a nightmare because obviously you can really only find deals on the MLS, which are super competitive. And unless you want to give bad advice to your investors, there's really almost no deal that you could buy on the MLS that's going to make your investor even any shred of money that's worth, investing even $1 into it, right? So I had that moral obligation. And then I was like, okay, if I'm going to be an investor, I need to find the best deals for myself. So I really can't be representing other clients. So I'm dealing with this conflict. And then by the grace of God, some mailers I had sent over the year prior Somebody named Randy reached out to me, said, hey, I got this house in Schaumburg. You want to come look at it? You send me a mailer. The tenant just moved out. Let's see what we could do. I go over there. I give him a $125,000 offer. He accepts it. I put $40,000 into the deal. I do it with hard money. That's my first experience with hard money. And I made $60,000 flipping that house. In that moment, it was so clear to me. I'm like, okay, it took me about 15 hours of work to make $60,000 because I have my systems, my contacts, my connections, my experience, everything's on point, right? Because I've been doing this for about 7 years at this point. It took me about 15 hours to make $60,000. How many houses would I sell in my market to actually achieve that same amount of income? It was about 7 to 9 homes. How many buyer's agents or listing agents? How many attorneys do I got to deal with? How many title reps? How many lenders? How many problems? How many closings? Etc. Right? Things come up, and how much time and how much driving just to get these deals under contract, what I have to do. Because one flip deal. So I fell in love with flipping. I said, you know what? Forget about it. I'm going to be a full-time investor. We're not doing a single thing other than investing. Now, me, I'm a lunatic. So instead of just easing my way into it, I said, you know what? Forget about it. We are no longer representing clients, and we are only representing ourselves. Whether I go broke or not, that is how we're going to do this. Because I'm a firm believer. You can't have like one toe in one pool and the other toe in the other pool, and you're going to be doing the splits and you're going to hurt your groin, right? It's not going to be a good situation for you, my humble opinion. So I didn't want to be distracted, because if I'm showing a buyer 5 houses, I'm not trying to find that one house for myself that's going to make me $60,000. Instead, I'm trying to make $1,500 over here because it's easy. It's just going to get in the way. So I quit being a real estate agent. And I think I was in a unique position because all my clients were investors. And once they realized that I was quitting and I was no longer going to represent them, they all reached out saying, we would love to invest in your deals. Because at this point, I've had a track record of finding great deals. This is where I hit my first snag. My brain said if I can raise the capital, do deals, charge acquisition fees, I'll make enough money, enough earned income to pay all my bills. And then in the course of 2-3 years, when we exit these deals, I'm going to have 20-30% of the profits coming my way. So I'll be making a lot of money along with a little piece of cash flow as I build up my multifamily portfolio. However, this is where everything came to a screeching halt, and it was a massive learning lesson for me. Earned income is very, very important. Number one. Number two, liquidity is very, very, very important. And in my age, and once you were making $200,000 a year, and then you go to zero, you go through your savings very quickly because your lifestyle doesn't change, and you're not very liquid. And it's hard to stay liquid. What I mean by having cash on hand, when you're not making any earned income, even though you're raising money. This was actually a big problem for me because lenders would not give me loans. I would go find great deals, but they wouldn't give me loans as the sole guarantor because I was not liquid. And then when I went and got other guarantors, they still did not like that I was not liquid. So it was a major hurdle. And that's why I'm like, you know what? Let's lean into these flips a little bit more. So here's how the transition went, and just long story short for you all, okay? I got out thinking I was just going to buy a bunch of multifamily real estate. The market shifted on me, and it no longer made sense to buy multifamily. The lending was very different, so I couldn't even get half the deals I was getting before, and I wasn't even getting loans approved because I was not liquid. So I needed to solve my liquidity issue. So I started flipping. At first, it was with my money. I did that flip. That made me $60,000. And then I said, you know what? I'm sure people would love to invest in these flips. So now I spend all my money is spent on marketing to go find great deals and efforts and things like that. And then I raise the capital to do the flips. So the lesson I want to share with you all is that, yes, I have apartment buildings now. Yes, I do. Right now we have, we just closed out a flip, made us $54,000. We have another flip that's going to make $80,000 to $120,000. We're finishing up. We just put a flip under contract last week, and we're going to go look at another 2 flips this week. Hopefully put those under contract as well. Because I'm approaching this with the concept of I have unlimited money. All I need to do in my current position is go find great deals. And that is the lesson. That is the reason why I was able to transition being a full-time agent to being a full-time investor. Is because I am not using my own capital. And because I have a track record, I'm still able to keep a big bulk of these profits. Even though I'm not putting any money in these deals, I'm still getting 50% of the profit. So I'm able to raise the full acquisition cost. I'm able to raise the whole rehab cost, all cash, so my deals have no risk, and I'm able to go make 50% of those profits, right? And I'm only able to do this because I built a track record of success and knowledge, and I have a reputation for finding great deals, right? And all my past clients are people with capital who are happy to invest with me because they like me, they trust me, and they know I'm a man of integrity, right? So the lesson in it is, what I say is you don't have to waste 6 years of your life is, I never had to be a real estate agent. Yes, being an agent helps you run comps, this, that, and the other, but there's nothing that I learned as an agent that is worth those 5 years of my life. What I should have done from the jump is understand the money is never the problem. The money is never the problem. Here's the problem. You don't know how to find great deals. You don't know what a great deal is. You don't know how to evaluate it. You don't know how to run your numbers. You don't know how to execute. You don't got the team in place. You have to build it, and then the money will come. So if you are somebody that is thinking about transitioning to be a full-time investor, whether you're a broker or you're trying to get into the real estate industry to then be an investor, word of advice to you is spend 100% of your time learning how to find and lock down phenomenal deals, and I promise you, the investors will find you. That should be your number one priority, and that's what I should have done. At 21 years old, when I got my license, I should have just been looking for mentors, people who are actually doing what I want to do, learn from them, and I promise you, within 1 year, I would have learned everything I had to. I would have started bringing them deals, because through the process of building connections, you meet your capital partners, you meet your mentors, right? And you see the money being made. Once you see somebody make $60,000 3 times a year on a flip, you got, oh, I could do that. All I have to do is find these same metrics. So now you go find these same metrics and you come to them and like, how would you like a 4th deal? They say yes. And you start building your track record like that. That's what I should have done. And that would have saved me 5 years of my life, and I 100% would have been a millionaire by now. But I don't think I would be as humble. So that being said, that is the story of how I'm able to transition to being a full-time investor. Now, to be honest with you, I made $180,000 last year. I don't remember working. We did 2 flips that we exited. The flips made me like $95,000. And then I made $60-some thousand on my commissions from like residue business and listing my own flips, right? Which was only really 2 of them. And I made some money online. I literally do not remember working last year. Why? Because as an investor, our time isn't for sale, right? As soon as I find a great deal, that's a bulk of my work, right? Because I have the team in place where I just give the keys and I know the job gets done well. So focus on that, build it, and the money will come. And if it's something that you think you need a little bit more guidance in, you need help raising money, you need help gaining experience, you need help evaluating deals, whatever the case is, you would be a perfect candidate, if you pass, for my mentorship program. Here's what we do in there, okay? We only have 2 spots left for $997, but then it's gonna double or definitely gonna raise the price for sure. So links in the bio, click it, book a free 15-minute call with me, and let's see if the program makes sense for you. I'm gonna hold your hand, I'm gonna help you evaluate deals, I'm gonna help you structure it, you're gonna get all my promissory notes of how I raise money, how I do my deals, how I find my deals, everything, top to bottom. And the benefit is I'm actually still doing it. Like, I don't make money online. 95% of my income comes from real world business moves. That's it. So if you want to learn from someone that's actively making money in 2024 and not someone that's been doing 100 deals a year, because you can't relate to that, someone that's going to do 5 to 10 flips this year, I'm your guy, and I would love to help you. Links in the bio. Whatever the situation is, if you don't join, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.